Today I'll be showing you a family secret recipe. You say secret recipe, why are you sharing it? I'm sharing it because of my granny's love. My granny's love to cook and bake. I remember a story growing up that me and my granny and my papa went to church, and we got back home from church on Sunday, and we noticed that someone had broken into the house. They come in through the back door next to the kitchen, and they busted out a window pane. And I remember Papa going looking through the house, and he was in law enforcement at that time, and he said that they stole every gun in the house, and they didn't tear up anything. So he thought that maybe they had been there before, they knew who they were. And I remember Granny saying, "But Junior, they didn't take any of my biscuits." You see, Granny loved to bake, and she knew that her food was good, and she knew that if someone had knew them and had been in the house, they'd have stole a biscuit on the way out the back door. But my granny, she was one of a kind, and she loved family and loved to bake. But today I'll be making her a pound cake recipe. This recipe was handed down to me from my mother. My dad made it for several years, and now I'm tasked every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and any other family get-together, for that matter, to make a pound cake. And pound cake originally got its name, as far as foodreference.com says, that it's one pound of flour, 1 pound of sugar, and 1 pound of butter. And so that's where the name came from, pound cake. It's actually dates back to a British tradition of 1700, according to foodcuisine.com. Today we'll be making our pound cake. We'll have several different of those same ingredients. Now, one thing I will tell you, that when Granny made pound cake, she always said this is her special recipe. She came up with it on her own. But she says that the actual brand names in this particular recipe is very important. Especially the butter. We use, I can't believe it's not butter. We use at room temperature. We use 4 eggs at room temperature. Philadelphia cream cheese at room temperature. We use lemon flavoring, 1 tablespoon. We use Swan's cake flour, 3 cups, and then 3 cups of sugar. And then Granny's secret recipe, full of love. So we're going to go ahead and get started making this today. I have a new mixer, so bear with me on that. We're going to add our 3 sticks of butter. We're going to go ahead and start mixing that. There we go. We're going to add 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of lemon flavoring. And then our 8-ounce package of Philadelphia cream cheese. And we're going to let that mix until it mixes well, good and blended. And be careful, like I did, not to sling out a piece of butter. Once that's got a good mixture to it, we'll begin adding our other ingredients. Alright, now we're going to add a cup of flour. Turn that down just a little bit. And it's important that we add these in this order as well. We'll add a cup of sugar and 1 egg. Now we're going to repeat this recipe, or repeat this in order until we use all of our flour, sugar, and our eggs. So again, we're going to add another cup of flour. And then a cup of sugar. And then, of course, another egg. I like from time to time to take my spatula and just carefully run around the edges of your bowl to make sure that all the flour and sugar is making it into the batter. Just be careful not to grab the little spinny thing there. Now we're going to add flour. We're going to add our sugar. And then our last egg. Then we're going to let that beat for just a second so it can get good and mixed up. Then I'll show you the batter in just a second. As you can see the batter. And now we're going to put this into our pre-greased tube pan. I've already sprayed it with bacon grease. So it's not bacon as in frying bacon, it's actually a spray can of bacon grease. And then we're going to put that in there. We need to, I always like to take this beater. We're going to see if we can beat a little bit of that there off and stick it over here. Typically, me, my wife, and kids love to eat the batter after we're done. Now I'm going to take this here, spatula. I typically put about half in one side, kind of makes it easier to level, because we will need to level this. So we'll put about half, or close to it, in one side and half in the other side. You know, everybody loves this pound cake. I haven't made it, no one not like it. It is a lemon pound cake. Some people does not like the lemon flavor, but I've had people that actually said they don't like lemon cake and tried this one and loved it. You know, Justin Wilson, I used to love watching Justin Wilson growing up in his cooking shows. And one of the things he used to say is, I guarantee. So I guarantee this will be the best pound cake that you've ever baked for your family, and your family will love it. It is highly requested around Thanksgiving and Christmas times. And we're going to take this, I like to shake it just a little bit, and then we're going to beat it. I like to beat it to get the air out. Then I'll take my spatula and just kind of go around and smooth it out, kind of level it out. So it turns out to be a pretty cake. And now we'll stick it in the oven and see if we can bake ourselves a cake. We have our cake now, and now it's time to stick it in the oven. Now we're going to set this at 325 for an hour and 20 minutes. Now I made maybe an hour 10, hour and 30 in your oven, so just check that after about an hour and 10 minutes, check that. You can stick a toothpick in it. If it comes out, it's clean. Comes out clean, it's ready. So just depending on your oven. But that is for 325 for about an hour and 20 minutes. And it needs to be a cold oven. When Mom passed the recipe down to me, she stressed cold oven. She spelled it C-O-O-L-D with exclamation points and underline, that it needed to be in a cold oven. So that's one of the secrets to the recipe. And always remember not to open and shut the door. Keep opening and shut the door. That will cause the cake to fall. It makes an ugly cake, but as my dad says, it makes a very delicious cake. So we're going to let that bake, and I'll show you the finished result. We've allowed it to cool, And as you see, it's got a nice golden crust to it. And it's got a velvety texture inside. We're making this actually for my wife's family's oyster roast for next weekend. So they'll enjoy it. But I hope you've enjoyed watching me bake Granny Gertie's pound cake. And I hope you bake it for your family as well to help me spread Granny Gertie's love to the world.